Okay, here's the question for you, Fred. And you've been in these campaigns. You know more about politics than I do. You really know this. Don't accuse me of looking through a political lens. You do time when you're not a successful business guy. Let me ask you this question. Why does she pick fights with little people like Nicole Wallace in the McCain campaign? People like Steve Schmidt. It's an old political trick, and you know it. Don't blame the principal. Just put your dagger in the back of every one of the staff people and say, oh, they were misdirected. The candidate would never have done that. It's a direct way of starting an intramural fight with the moderate wing of the Republican Party. You don't see that. Well, then why is she doing it?
Not at all.
Why is she writing this book?
Well, look, undeniably there were leaks from the campaign right before and right after the election that went after her unfairly. I think those attacks were unfair, they were lacking in loyalty, and they were lacking of any semblance of chivalry. And if she wants to kind of fire back a little bit at those who attacked her, whoever they are, it wouldn't be the first time that's happened in this town, Chris.
You know, Chris, I think she's
well, fair. To make your point, to make Fred's point and your point you're about to make, here it is. In early September, Steve Schmidt tells Palin, quote, the numbers don't look good, and we've got to change things. And Palin says, you've told me how to dress, what to say, who to talk to, a lot of people not to talk to, who my heroes are supposed to be, and you're losing. And now you're telling me what to eat? Now, is that the point you're making, Fred? Straightening out the record here?
Look, most of her commentary on people in the campaign was pretty darn positive. I've been in 4 of these, as you point out. We've won 2 and we lost 2. When you win, you're heroic. When you lose, you look pretty bad. And it's a lot more fun to win, I must admit. But here you have a situation where we didn't, and we looked a little bit bad. But people forget the great campaign that was run to bring John McCain back from the dead in the summer of '07 to the nomination run by Rick Davis. This was a good campaign. I was proud to be a part of it.
Chris,
do you believe the campaign failed to I got to ask Fred this question. Yeah. It's rare we get this guy. Pat, I get you more often than I get Fred. Fred, do you think she makes a very strong point in her book that the campaign for John McCain could have done better, may not have won, would have done much better, had it pivoted after the election issues shifted from Iraq to the failing economy? That John McCain never really identified when he said things like the fundamentals of the economy are good. He didn't really react to the changing situation, and that's why they lost so badly. Your thoughts?
Oh, I think that's it's correct. When the economy tanked on us, it just looked bad for all of us. I don't think it wasn't that McCain didn't react to it. He did. He even suspended his campaign for a while to come back and work on the economy. But once Lehman collapsed and the rest of the dominoes started to fall, this changed the dynamic. We were 3 points ahead when that happened. And once that happened, all the blame, all the fingers pointed at the Republicans because we were the ones in office, and we were the ones who were blamed for a lot of it. That changed the dynamic of the election, and we were never able to recover from that.
If she chose to run for president, Fred, would Sarah Palin make a good candidate for the Republican Party?
I don't know.
If she chose to run.
You know, it's so far off. It's very difficult to answer. We have some really good governors and ex-governors who are out there who are likely to run. I think Mitt Romney's terrific. I think Haley Barbour, if he decided to run, is terrific. Tim Pawlenty is a fine leader in Minnesota, and we have others like Mitch Daniels and Sarah who would also be good, solid candidates.
Okay, here's the question. 60% of the American people say she's not qualified to be president of the United States. Are you among the 60 or among the 40? Fred Malek, friend of Sarah Palin.
I think you got to look at her record as governor. She was a reform-oriented governor who actually achieved reform. She accomplished a lot. When you look at her record and you compare it to somebody else who 4 years ago people didn't think he was qualified, that guy became president of the United States. His name was Barack Obama. I would not underestimate her. The last time we underestimated somebody who was a governor was 90, Pat. You remember that well.
I sure do. Let me
one more bite at the apple, Fred. Is she qualified? Is she qualified to be president, Fred Malek? Your friend.
Nobody.
Is she qualified to be president?
Hold on. Nobody.
Can't you answer this one?
Nobody at this stage of the game has the qualifications to be president. It's something you grow into over a period of time as you get out there and meet with people and get into the issues and develop your positions in more detail.
Okay.
To say anybody in today, 3 years out, is qualified would be disingenuous.
Chris, let me just say,
thank you.
Let me say, Nixon said, you got to be tested in the fires of the primaries, and that is what shows whether or not you're the most qualified or the really qualified person to be president. And frankly, Obama made it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put this down. Fred Malek and Pat Buchanan are not ready to say that Sarah Palin is qualified to be president. Coming up,
That's not what we said.
First Republican. Thank you, Fred, for being on the show. We got a tape of what you said. Thank you.